Was it easy to fill or you didn't open it?
I
Come
opened
on.
it, yeah.
Hmm?
We opened it, but we didn't finish it yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Comes.
Any questions about it?
When's the last hour we're supposed to give it?
Now we will add on it today. The information of yesterday, we're going to be reusing today as we see to make the pitch. Okay.
Okay.
So as we said,
today,
yesterday we said the deadline is on the 10th of October.
So today we will gonna talk about pitching and how could you tell your story about your business? How could you build it? How could you prepare for it? So today mainly we will talk about pitching. So to start, anybody knows what is the difference between pitching and presentation? The main difference between pitching and presentation? Does anybody know? Any idea?
Why do we call something a presentation? Why do we call something else a pitch?
A pitch is a short part of a presentation. It's summarized.
No.
A pitch is meant to convince someone, persuade it.
And the presentation
is just to show general information.
Great.
Thank you, Hamid. Go ahead, Kariman. So the first thing is,
in presentation we do main four things: demonstrate, introduce, and it's like a lecture. We have some information and we want to inform the audience what we are telling them. But in pitching, we persuade, inspire, motivate, and the main concept or the main core of pitching is to sell an idea. So these are the main difference between presentation and pitching. Does anybody know where the word pitching come from, or pitch? Any idea about pitching? To make it close, it's in a game.
Isn't a pitch a sound?
no, a pitch is not a sound. A pitch is a level on the frequency of the sound. But
Like
that's
a tone?
not, yeah, it's the pitch is the level of the tone, but this is not where it came from. It comes from baseball. In baseball, there's somebody called the pitcher. This guy is a pitcher. That's the guy who throws the ball. And he doesn't just throw the ball. He throws the ball with a technique to force his opponent to return it in a way he wants it. So that's why we called it a pitch, because you set up the information to persuade, inspire, motivate, to sell something to somebody, and you are designing what the reaction should be. So sometimes I pitch to make a network, I pitch to get an offer, I pitch to make money, to get an investment. So always a pitch is that you are throwing information. That's the analogy. Throwing information to somebody, hoping that he will return it back to you with something that you want. Okay? طب دي حاجة كريمان ولا I move؟
لا خلاص اتفضل.
يلا كورة معاكي.
So we have here Lisa Krohn. She is a storyteller and she is an author. She writes a genius stories and she is proficient at storytelling. She has a great talk here, quote here. She says, A story is about how the things that happen affect someone in pursuit of a difficult goal, and how that person changes internally as a result. So with a story, you can change the mind of the audience. You can change the thing that you want to tell to him or you want to deliver to him if you just build a story.
So we started with presenting and pitching, and now Kariman is telling us what is a story. Why, Kariman? What got stories to the topic of pitching and presenting?
Because a story is a powerful way to represent a complex, multi-dimensional concept. It's a powerful way. If you want to tell someone, to inform someone about something, to make it memorable in his mind, just tell a story or build a story and tell it to him.
So a story can be in a presentation, and the story can be in a pitch. So the format can be a story or just lines, bullets, information. And then if it's a story or information, you can either use it to pitch or you can use it to present. But think a little bit. The moment you wake up in the morning until you close your eyes, go to bed, you live in a plethora of stories. Breaking news are stories. What happened on the street are stories. You're getting late, you won't be making it to lunch today with your parents. That's another story. So stories are an essential human being. ربنا خلقنا كده. Stories.
So, no, please, nobody tell us that he is not a storyteller. He cannot tell story, because every day, it's a daily routine. We tell our friends, our family stories in phone. What happened in our day when we come home after school or after university or after work to our family. We just start to telling them what happened in our day in a story. So nobody tell us that he cannot tell a story to build his pitch. It's an easy way, and it's a human nature you can use anytime.
And it's very powerful. And that's why
ربنا سبحانه وتعالى دايما كان في القرآن لما بيكون عايز يوصل لنا معلومة أو يوصل لنا حاجة حدثت في الماضي، كان بيوصلها لنا عن طريق قصص. ربنا سبحانه وتعالى ذكر في سورة الأعراف: ولو شئنا رفعناه بها ولكنه أخلد إلى الأرض واتبع هواه فمثله كمثل الكلب إن تحمل عليه يلهث أو تتركه يلهث ذلك مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا فاقصص القصص لعلهم يتفكرون. وفي أمثلة كتير جدا من الآيات القرآنية اللي هي زي في سورة هود: وكلا نقص عليك من أنباء الرسل ما نثبت به فؤادك وجاءك في هذه الحق وموعظة وذكرى للمؤمنين. فإنك تقول قصة ربنا سبحانه وتعالى أنزل ده في القرآن بشكل بشكل كبير، مش بشكل مختصر ومتكرر بطرق مختلفة علشان يوصل لنا المعلومة بشكل نقدر نتذكره ويبقى فيه موعظة.
وكل قصة في القرآن بحكيها أكتر من مرة، نفس القصة بطرق مختلفة، لأنه ربنا سبحانه وتعالى ذكر في سورة هود: ما نثبت به فؤادك، وحق وموعظة وذكرى. إذن الستوري ليها أسباب، ليها أوجه، والأوجه دي لما تختلف شكل القصة بيختلف.
بالضبط كده. So here we have Tim O'Brien. Please, Mr. Ashraf, tell us who is Tim.
Tim O'Brien is like Naguib Mahfouz
Right.
of the Americans. Uncle Sam's Naguib Mahfouz. Okay?
He is a storyteller. Mm.
He doesn't just write stories, he tells them. You see, so a storyteller is different than a story writer. A storyteller is what gets the story, make it come to life. So filmmakers are storytellers. A stand-up comedian is a storyteller. An entrepreneur is a storyteller. So Tim O'Brien tells us that storytelling is the essential human activity. And the harder the situation you have, the more essential it is. الشباب والشابات بقى كده يفتكروا كده لما يبقى when they have a curfew and they have to be back when they were younger than this a couple of years ago, you have to be back at 10 and you're back at 11. Oops. Problems at home. So remember what you used to do? All the way on your commute back home, your brain is working. Tak, 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 tak. You're setting up a story. And the story has to be very convincing. So you can escape punishment. We've all been there. You want to see real stories? Look at a relative or your sister, or maybe you have a young brother or sister, and watch them pitching to you on one night, pitching to your parents that we have to buy McDonald's. We have. And he tells you a very elaborate story. Why do we have to get McDonald's?
Yeah.
It's instinctive, and it's essential.
Mm-hmm. So please, guys, tell us, what is your story? Who wants to collaborate with us now? Who wants to tell us about his story briefly?
Do you mean our, like, the work that we're working on, or just like a general story of something?
Anything. Either, Nora. Can anybody tell a joke? You know, stories come in different forms. We have something like very short stories. We have something called short stories. And then we have long stories. And then we have epical stories, like Twilight, like Harry Potter, a story that came out in 6 volumes. Every volume is something like 800 pages. So, but as we will say today, the essentials are the same. The tools and the skills are the same. When you watch a movie and get bored in the middle, so you get out of the theater or you turn off the TV, now by the end of this presentation, you will know why. That's because the director, which is the ultimate storyteller, is not masterful of his tools. Sometimes when we watch مسلسل for Ramadan, after when it finishes in 30 episodes, we say, oh, it was not bad. Specifically some Egyptian مسلسلات now. Oh, it was not bad. Yeah, they could have finished it in 7 episodes. That's not because the idea of the story is short. No. They don't.
Yeah, come on, Rita, ask your question if you want. Rita, I have a question. Feel free to ask any time. Open your mic and ask. Please. Rita?
Okay, so the presentation is online. Do we need to make it a hardware or a software?
you are pitch in front of an audience, you have to make it in software differently because you will pitch on a screen. And then after that, later, you can print it and give it to an investor or whom care about it, who want to read more about your business. So mainly, you will start with the software.
And
Okay, and I have another question, please.
okay, go ahead.
Isn't this competition an IoT competition?
Yeah. Hello, Rita. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah. Did you attend with us yesterday the session, or you got the mail with the presentation of yesterday?
Yes, I entered the yesterday's one and today's.
Yeah. So today and yesterday we are working with you to have like how to work on your presentation, how to make like your pitching is good, because this will make a big difference for you in the finals of the UAE IoT and AI challenge. So today and yesterday we are completing 2 sessions with Engineer Ashraf and Engineer Kariman. And tomorrow we will have like a technical trainings on Internet of Things and artificial intelligence for after tomorrow. So please focus today how to make your presentation good. This is very clear. And at the end of the session today also, you can get all your questions answered regarding the challenge. Okay. Thank you.
And
so much.
answering your question about should you write
Okay.
it in PowerPoint or in the project, we will answer that as we are going through the presentation. We'll come to that.
Yes. Thank you.
So nobody wants to tell us your story. So we will tell you, as an entrepreneur, your pitch is story. So if you want to start a startup, that's the story worth telling. That's the story we'll keep telling. Now, what makes a story great, ya Kariman?
So
What some stories are good and some stories are bad? What make good stories good stories?
Okay, the great story depends on 3 main aspects or main cores: emotive, dramatic, and visual. So you have to be read or try to reach the emotions of your business. يعني مش عارفة أقولها لهم بالإنجليش قوي يا شوانتي.
Your pitch for a story to be great, it has to be emotive, which means that it touches emotions. It puts the audience at the heart of the conflict.
And this comes from the empathy that we have learned tomorrow, yesterday.
In business, this comes from the empathy. And we will see how we do it. The second element, a good story, if it puts you in emotions, it has to be dramatic, which means it has to have escalation. It doesn't, ما ينفعش تبقى monotonous. It has to be tan 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 tan. It has to escalate.
We will tell you an example about this.
We will show you all, but we're giving it to you bit by bit. And of course, then you have to have visuals to support that. Okay?
So how can we build our story? Yeah. We have 3-step process. We have to prepare. Don't start with, again, I will tell you, don't start with the slides. No, you have to prepare your story and your pitch, and then produce it, and then deliver it. So
we start with slides, because slides is like shooting with a camera. If any of you got or made a short movie for school, whoever got into this, he will find himself, we do preparation first. We write the story, we decide what we are going to shoot, where are we going to. You don't just pick up the camera and start shooting. Shooting is called production. In slide presentations or in pitching, working with PowerPoint is production. So never ever start with PowerPoint before you prepare your story. And then you deliver it. In the cinema industry, the preparation is called preparation or pre-production. And how many of you watch NBC? And no, Raya Abi Raya Abi Rashid ولا أبي مش عارف مين.
Yes.
With Raya. She will tell you about a new movie and she starts talking. وقد استغرق إنتاج هذا الفيلم قرابة العامين وكان إجمالي تكلفة إنتاجه قرابة 200 مليون دولار. So you'll be amazed to know that from those 24 months, هدول العامين, something like سنة ونص, 4 guys or 5 guys are working on the movie, the producer, the director, the costume designer, the set designer, the script writer, 5 أشخاص. For سنة ونص, they are preparing the movie. And the amount of money spent on that movie in سنة ونص is something like $1 million from the 200 million. But at the end of the preparation, they have something called the score, a big book that has every single shot. Who's going to be in it? Who's going to say what? Who's wearing what? Where is it going to go? Are we traveling for that or not? How much is the cost of the travel? So by that end of that preparation, they have a clear budget. How many films are we going to use? We are going to shoot for 12 days. Yes. Those 12 days, there is something like a $100 million spent for those 200. أجور الممثلين, تذاكر الطيران, معدات.
The
And they go to the studio to edit it. That's post-production. When it's finished, it gets out to cinemas, gets scheduled to when to get on Netflix, when to get on Amazon. That is delivery.
Yeah, as much as you can, as you prepare for your pitching and give it time in preparing, this will deliver a good pitching for your audience. And you can convince the investor with it if you prepare it well.
So,
okay?
Present pitching is no different than a movie. We prepare. After we finish preparation, we produce. That is Photoshop and PowerPoint and all that stuff. And when we finish, we can deliver. We can test. Okay? So, and they do not overlap. They have to go linearly like this. This is a straight, linear process. So in preparation, we have a few tips to tell you about first. First, as you can see, preparation is always analog. We do not touch PowerPoint until we finish preparation.
And here preparation comes from the empathy that you have done. You remember yesterday we talked about empathy and put yourself in the shoe of your customer and feel what he feels, listen what he's saying, and watch, observe what's his behavior. All of this after you write it and empathy and have a note of it, you can use it here in preparation. It will help you in preparation phase.
So first of all, set the right mindset. What is the mindset? My story is not about me. My story is about users. And go analog.
Go analog.
How many
And please-
people, how many of you have used
Doodle.
not doodling, index cards?
Oh.
Do you all know index cards?
Yes.
So in preparation, we prepare using index cards instead of slides. So by that, we can put every piece of information we want to talk about that we are looking for on a single card and use that later on as we're going to see. So don't start with PowerPoint, never.
Yeah, don't tell us that you cannot sketch or draw a simple drawing. Try to rehearse and make it a lot of time, and it will be easy to draw your ideas and bring it out from your mind on paper. Okay.
Any story, any movie has two versions. A plot, which is something that is communicated in 20 to 30 seconds, and then the movie, that is 3 hours. Pitching is like that. We have equivalent to the plot, we have something we call the elevator pitch, which is in your entire idea, your entire startup in maximum 40 seconds.
You can tell in 40 seconds.
And then we have your own pitch, which can be anywhere between 3 minutes till 20 minutes. And this competition is 3 minutes, because this is the very first pitch. Usually pitches start shorter. If people have more interest and you become a finalist, they might give you more time. So what does a storyteller starts with? He starts with his plot. He doesn't start writing the entire story, then he writes the plot. No, the plot is like the great idea we talked about yesterday. So how to write an elevation pitch? You start with the human-centered problem we talked about yesterday. User needs to use it.
So again, we went. Yeah, again we go to the user need. We go back to it. From yesterday, we said that the most important thing about the business is around the human, the customer, the user. So you all start with his needs.
Okay.
And then
yesterday we gave an example of teenage girls.
Yeah.
Teenage girls at high school needs to, and we said, have a snack to thrive and stay alert. Yet it has to be healthy because they are in a critical age of body and health formation. So you come up with your first, we come up with our human-centered problem, and then we use it in this formula to have an elevator pitch. The problem, the previous problem, followed by we at
startup name,
provide or offer the solution. Value proposition.
This is the value proposition. And that's why we sent you yesterday this form to fill, and you have to go step by step. It depends on what's your problem that you have been defined, and the problem that you have been defined, it comes from the empathy of your customer and determination of your target customer. So it's like a process or a step. You have to go through it step by step. Don't jump.
So I'll continue with the example of the teenage girl. So if I want to make an elevator pitch about that problem because I have a solution for it, I will say teenage girls at high school need a healthy snack to stay alert. Yet it has to be natural with supplements because they build because it's essential for them in that age. We at intersection.world provide a nutritious, natural scoop of ice cream that is sold on mobile carts in front of schools. That's my entire business. That's a complete story in 30 to 40 seconds. And you have to work on that and remember it like your name. Whenever anybody asks you what you do, don't start with yourself. Start with the customer problem. It's not about you. It's about your customer. Remember yesterday when I told you I designed a kennel for a customer? By that time, when people, I was joking, I was still mentoring startups as well. That's the other thing we do at Intersection. So I remember by that time, one of my friends, he's a mentor as well, and told me, how is human-centered design? I told him, well, it's good. It's not just human now. So he told me, why? What are you doing? I told him, dogs at kennels need to see the sun, because that's the only source of them getting calcium. Ashraf Tawakkul at intersection.com.world is designing this kennel for them. It becomes a habit. You always start with whom has the problem. You always start with the problem. Entrepreneurs are beautiful problem solvers. Entrepreneurs are the main catalyst of development in any country. That's why we pay a lot of attention to entrepreneurs. It's not just because it's an economic thing. No, they are the catalyst of development. It's entrepreneurs who take a country from being underdeveloped to being developed. It's the act of entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurship is like that because it's all about changing and solving serious problems in mass. Okay? Any questions here?
No.
So, Einstein has a very important quote that I will say and leave you with Kariman to tell you about his quote. Einstein, as known as a genius, once said that if I had a problem to solve and I have only 1 hour to solve it, and my life depends on it, I would use the 55 minutes, first 55 minutes, determining proper questions to ask. Not asking the right question. No, he's determining the right questions. And then in 5 minutes, them and solve them.
He will answer them.
So, are there wrong questions? Yes. There are wrong questions. Like all the questions, guys, you have been asking since yesterday. Do we have to put it on slides? Is it going to be PowerPoint or in how many bullets per slide? Wrong. The buzzer. Wrong. Focus on the story. The story is about human beings, that you're solving a problem for them. Prepare the story and then the production is easy. So, Kariman, what are those right questions?
Okay, so your story is all about the real people.
Real people, they're not fictions. It's not a story in a movie. These are real people.
Yeah, we hear
like you, like me.
Yeah, we are talking here about the human, the customer, the user. It's all about the customer. Every single detail you are thinking about it in your when you are building your business or your pitch and going through the process, you have to think first about your customer.
So the first question you must ask,
Yeah. Who is your
Who is
customer?
the customer?
Who is the customer
أنا
you are
بحل
targeting?
مشكلة مين؟ بحل مشكلة أطفال مبتسمين، بحل مشكلة visually impaired people، بحل مشكلة people with disability، بحل مشكلة people who stand long lines in Carrefour، بحل مشكلة people who can't irrigate، بحل who is my customer. And that's important because the problem comes from the customer. It's not the otherwise.
Without customers, there is no
بدور
business.
على مشكلة والبسها لزبون.
No,
Excuse my
without
Arab.
customers, there is no business. Yeah, and without problem that you will solve to customer, there is no business.
Second question is,
And
what
what is the problem worth solving? Like we said, the first thing that you have to thought about it or think about it is the problem. What's the problem that you will solve for the customer? Like we said yesterday, here we are like going through revision about that we told you yesterday.
your entire life, if you continue as to be an entrepreneur, is going to be around those questions. You solve those questions, you ask those questions to come up with solutions and launch the business. You think of those questions to make a pitch. You think of those questions to grow. You think of those questions. These set of questions are the backbone of your life as an entrepreneur. So that's why we're repeating them again.
So after you define the problem, what is the solution you will deliver or your service for your customer? What's the solution to this problem? Okay.
Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it both?
And
How
then,
big?
yes, you have to determine the market size. It's not easy for you now to go through details about market size, but we can tell you the outline about market size.
No, without telling them. 1 minute, Kariman. I've noticed that on chat a lot of people left, but I have a good eye in memory, and I can see that the people who are here today are still sitting today with us are most of the people who were with us yesterday. What did we say about the market size yesterday?
Okay.
And I want answers, or I'm not going to move from this slide.
مهندس أشرف قفش دلوقتي. وعد لكم بقى.
أنا النهارده الخميس، أنتوا وراكم حاجة؟ أنا ما وريش حاجة. So what is a market size? What did we talk about market yesterday? شباب.
It's like the amount of people that will buy and use the product.
Exactly. Allah yaftah alayk ya Noura. Thank you. And that's what we said. The first thing we check, or the second thing we check when we validate. So, okay, we notice that there are a customer. We can sit with a good sample of that customer and empathize with them, and maybe watch them and find the problem and have a solution. Now, we need to understand from data how big these customers are. Are they only in Barsha? Is it a Dubai global thing? Or wow, it's a national UAE thing? Or even better, is it a regional thing? It has a regional market, which means this customer, there are customers like the customers we empathize with having the same problem. This is what we said, a market size. If we imagine سوق خضار في 100 عربية خضار with 100 type of vegetables, and only 50 people come to that market every day. It happens 2 hours after Salat al-Jum'ah. And that market in this city, only 50 people comes, but it has 100 products. Which would be bigger? Another market that has only 10 products, but with 1,000 people visiting it every week. Which is bigger? Which is a bigger market?
The market that has 1,000 visitors.
Exactly. So markets, again يا ولاد, it's all about the customers. بنسميهم بالعربي القوة الشرائية. It's about the customer. He is the one who makes the market happen. He's the one who has the scarcity. He's the one who has the problem. I am in business because I am solving his problem. Okay, so market size, it's very important.
Hence, it's the buyer, okay? We are talking about customer who will spend money to buy your product or buy your service. It's not about the seller. Here, we are talking about the buyer, okay, Hens? So after we determine our market size, then we have to search about the competition. Who are the competitors of us? And nobody tell us that there is not a competitor for my product because it's new. No, it's not
Let
true.
me ask you guys
There
a very
is-
big question. I know, excuse me, Kariman. I don't know, I have been out of the school scene in Dubai and Emirates for something like 8 years now. Until 2015 and 2016, I had a business in Dubai that was working in education with Apple computers. So I know some things until 2015 about schools, the number of international schools and the number of national schools and the number of المدارس النموذجية إلى آخره. I want to ask you a question regardless of the school you are in. Do you still have the idea of the yearly bazaar where some students go and rent a table to sell lemonade?
Yes, we have this last year in our school.
Okay,
Great.
great.
And
It's
actually,
for business students.
Okay. And you've noticed, Akid, that the number of students who rushed getting a table to sell lemonade, thinking that they are the only ones with that great idea, discovered on the day of the bazaar that there is something like 10 other tables selling lemonade as well. So that's competition. So why we look at competition? By instinct. If you look at those students, the clever ones start trying to differentiate themselves. Some of them will tell you our lemonade is with honey. It's all natural. Others will give it a tint color. Did you ever see the pink lemonade? By the way, there is a movie called Pink Lemonade. And they start differentiating each other. And eventually, they all sell. But if they all stayed with the same version of lemonade, most probably none of them would have sold anything. So competition is healthy. You will always have competition. Why is competition healthy? Because it forces you to differentiate yourself.
To be unique, yep. And we call it in business at the edge. What is the edge of your business? What makes you unique? What makes you different from the
comes
others?
from your understanding of your customer. You have to be unique for your customer. So most probably the guy selling the pink lemonade will be selling to girls. Girls love pink. And the guy selling with honey most probably will start targeting the athletes, maybe the football team. Their coach is being very harsh on them. No sugar, no sugar, no sugar, and so on. So although the main problem lemonade is solving is thirst, الارتواء, عكس العطش. The problem is thirst, so we're giving them a nice refreshing drink. But with competition, you have to find more smaller edges for you to take 5-6 customers. The competition takes 5-6 customers, and so on. This is called market share. Nobody ever monopolizes a market, even if he can, because the government will not allow. Because monopoly is bad for the economy. With monopoly, only the business owner wins. Everybody else loses. Okay?
Okay.
Any
So
questions
that
about
makes
competition?
I have a question.
Yes.
yes, please.
So basically, the idea that we created, it does exist, but it has not been implemented like physically before. Like they didn't actually like create a thing, but the idea like kind of exists in a different or in a similar way. Does that still count as competition?
Yes, let me tell you what was competing with Ford's car. مش انت كنت معانا امبارح يا نورا؟
Hey,
What competed with Ford's car?
Ferrari.
The horse. The horse was the competition because people know the horse and they love the horse. They just couldn't put their hand on the problem. And Henry Ford, we forgot to tell you this yesterday, Henry Ford only overcame the competition when he started selling his car in horsepower.
Yes,
Telling
we
people
all know it.
that this car is 40 horses. Why? Because Allah خلقنا كده. The maximum number of horses you can tie to a cart and get maximum speed of it is 8. Maximum 10 if you're so lucky. More than that, they start straying off. So there is a boundary on that. So he started telling him the power of this car is 20 horses. And that's the only analogy in physics that didn't change until today. Motor powers are always, even in air conditioning, is measured by horsepower. So,
okay, understand.
understand? It's about the job, ya Nora. We said yesterday that your user has a job to do. And he's already doing it. When he does it, he has gains, but it has pain. If you want to compete, what you have to do, you introduce a solution to the pain. So this means that you will always have a competition. There is always a competition. You just need to think clearly and put yourself in the shoes of your customer to find that competition. Because that's the only way you will have an edge, like Kariman just told you. That will differentiate your lemonade. That's the other question you have to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why you,
competition?
not them?
Why you?
I will choose you.
Why would they choose you over the competition?
You can ask yourself this question when you are going, for example, for shopping in the shopping mall. Why do you choose to buy from brand, not the other one? It's the same. Maybe it fits something in your needs, solving a problem with a unique way. Think about it every time you buy something or you go shopping. Okay?
Then after that, why you, not them?
How will your customers know about you? The channels that you will present or buy through it, your product or service.
Sell your product.
Yeah, you will sell. Sorry, you will sell it. If it's on internet or by word of mouth, or you are going to events to present your product, it's a lot of channels you can use to buy to sell your product or service.
And how will you deliver it? Now, they are the two faces for the same coin. Channels are marketing and sales, both. First, people have to know that you exist. That is marketing. When they know that you exist, how will they take the product from you? Online, in store, by phone, over WhatsApp, with all of them combined? you have to answer these questions. All of this is part of your business model as we described yesterday. And finally,
Build your team.
who's the brilliant team behind this great idea? Who is this?
Please don't be hurry when you are building your team. Try to choose it carefully because it's very important to choose a team that fits your mind and you can تعرف تتفاهم معاه يعني تعرفوا تحلوا المشاكل مع بعض بسهولة. ما يكونش فيه دايما خناقات وكل واحد عايز يتشبث برأيه. لا، يكون فيه flexibility في التعامل. دي مهمة جدا جدا when you are building your team.
So to go back, we are still in pillar number 1. We are still in preparation. Now that you have had your centered problem statement, your pitch, the answers for the questions on index cards, it is time to craft your story. Now we have all the data. And guess what? Naguib Mahfouz. I was lucky enough to see Naguib Mahfouz. I'm a little bit old. Before he writes a story, he spends time in coffee shops. He spent time in coffee shops, walking in the streets of Cairo, taking notes. What is he doing? He's answering questions. Only when all the answers and data is there, he starts sitting in his office for countless nights, writing the story, crafting the story.
It's preparing?
That's all in preparation yet. So now we had our elevator pitch. We asked the right questions and we have data. So it's time to arrange this data into a story so that we can produce it in step number 2. So how do we produce a story? How many of you studied or joined a drama club in school?
Me.
Okay, Fatima, do you know what is Fatma? Do you know, Fatma, what are the steps or what are the methods of building a story?
So first we need to write the scenario, but before we write, we need to gather the information and plan the whole story, how it's going to be, the place, the time, and everything.
Exactly. How do you plan it? There are 2 theories. One of them is the most famous one. And it's called
3-act
structure. And sometimes we call it the story arc. You know anything about the story arc, Fatma?
I'm not really sure.
Okay, when we explain it, you most probably will know.
Maybe yes.
Americans, specifically the Americans, they like to systemize everything. So these theories came from great people like Mark Twain and early artists in the American literature history. And the most famous of them all is called the 3-act structure. Sometimes we call it the arc, the story arc, because actually the 3 acts are, the first act is always a setup. You have to lay the situation for the reader. Is this happening in UAE? Is it happening in Cairo? What are the characters related to each other? You set the stage, right, Fatma? That's
yes.
The first thing you're planning. That's called Act 1, setup, situation. The second act is where we have the confrontation and the complication, because drama is about tension. Drama doesn't mean sad. Drama means attention. Great comedies are drama. Drama means that there is a conflict between a protagonist and an antagonist. It's between peace and war. It's between khair wa shar. It's between, even in Tom and Jerry, it's between small and big. Everybody knows Tom and Jerry. And Tom is the pig, is the cat, Jerry is the mouse. It's between, there is always tension. And in Tom and Jerry, for them to make the tension even more, the small wins, always. Even if he's not right. So that's Act 2. That's where the base, the body of your story happens in a confrontation way, which means that there is escalation. Things are happening. And then Act 3 is where we have a resolution for that confrontation. We call it the falling actions and resolution. That's the 3-act structure. Now, if we present them with an arch, with a curve, that's why we call it the story arc. The first act is usually the exposition, and now in proper drama meanings, if that rings a bell, ya Fatma, we have an exposition, which is the setup. That's the very main part of Act 1. And Act 1 is almost flat, as you can see. There is no tension in it. The rhythm is slow and peaceful. We're setting the stage. We're introducing the audience to what is going to happen. And it ends with something we call the inciting incident. The inciting incident is the point of change, not the point of change. It's the point that makes all the difference. It's like a teaser. It's the point that we notice it, and we are so astonished with it. What the heck? And that's usually the point that gets you emotive. That's the point that gets you emotions hooked up with that exposition. Then in the confrontation, we start, or the complication, we start from the inciting incident with the rising action. Action is going on, and he's chasing him, and he hides, and then the dog comes in. That's a crisis, like in Tom and Jerry. But it keeps going on, until we reach the climax, the very top of the story. What happens? The landlord comes to home and thinks Tom is guilty, so he kicks him out. That's the climax. So Jerry sits happily in his hole with a piece of cheese, leg over leg, eating it and singing. That's the falling action. Any questions here until now? Is that clear, Fatma? Does this ring a bell for you?
Yes, this is all about the things we used to talk about.
Okay, so this is the structure of it, and I'm going to show you how to use it in business.
Now it's like 3 acts.
Again, it's the
When
3
the
act
setup act,
and an
it's
arc.
like a hook. It's like a hook.
So in drama, you have an hour. Yes, it's an hour. So what do? We use the current bait as bait. The current state, we use it as bait to hook the emotions of the customer, the audience, very quickly, because we have 3 minutes. So I can't waste more than 30 seconds setting the stage.
Bring him in.
And getting so
his attention and emotion.
We combine the current state along with the problem or the inciting incident in what we call a hook. Then we go on Act 2. We got all the data. We know who's the customer, why the problem is worth solving, how big is the market, and then the competition is a crisis. There are competition. No, we have this advantage over them, and this is our solution. That's your climax. and why you are different. Now we
You are
start
building
relaxing.
opportunity. Yes.
We're gonna reach our customers with this marketing. We're gonna sell it like that, and our team is fulana wa fulana wa fulan. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Mhm.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Let me put
Yes.
it in another way. We use a hook. التكرار يعلم الشطار. So act 1, we take the setup and the problem in what we call an emotional hook. We will give an example now when we finish.
Mhm.
An emotional hook. Then we build up to the opportunity. If that's a problem and there is competition but I can solve it and there is a market size, then I'm grabbing an opportunity. I'm gonna make money. You get it? So we build up the opportunity. And then in Act 3, we say our solution, how are we going to do it? And if we are asking for a fund, we ask for the fund because we're gonna do with it 1, 2, 3.
Please, Maha, ask. Maha have a question.
Who has a question?
Maha.
Hello,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Please.
So like I want to know, like I know that we're gonna make a presentation and a video and submit it, but I want to know, like I don't understand what are we supposed to put in it. Like I heard what you said, but what questions and what do you want us to put in it? Do you have a PDF? Are you gonna send us about ideas in something, or what are you like gonna
No,
do?
it's about your idea.
About your
Not ours.
idea. And the questions we've sent them yesterday.
Is it the template from the email?
The template in the email is the actual questions that you will answer and use the story arc to make a story out of it. I will give you 2 examples now from real life. So that will answer.
قول لهم القصة بتاعت الولد بتاعت الطرف الصناعي عشان هي
بتاعت
تتكتب
ليلى،
يعني في
هنقول بتاعت
المكان
ليلى
ده.
هنقول بتاعت ليلى وهنقول بتاعت بايونيك ليمب.
بس هي هنا بعد ما بتقول الهوك وبتبقى يعني بتوضح قوي يعني بتبقى best example يعني.
هنحكي الاثنين حاضر. So التكرار يعلم الشطار. Again, you got all your data. You brainstorm an emotional hook and for the audience and get right into the heart of the conflict and problem. Then you share only what is critical to the problem, build the argument using the data to the climax of the problem. Then present your solution in relation
of the emotional hook. It's very important here to relate it to the emotional hook. Okay?
And finally, have a simple and clear
crisp conclusion.
If I look at them, number 1 is Act 1. 2 and 3 are Act 2. 4 and 5 are Act 3. So let's give an example.
Yes, please.
8 years ago, I was mentoring a startup that was incubated with our premises. He was a very bright guy, had a great team. And the problem worth solving for him or his customer, let me put it in the same manner. His customers were industrial workers who work on production lines, have accidents, get injured, and the only way to save their lives is to cut off their hand. Say they lose a limb. It could be this part, and it could be this entire part. So why is this a problem worth solving? Because those people are poor, and that's the only thing they know how to do, work in a factory. And he won't go back working unless he has some sort of vocational training which means that he has to have an artificial limb. Artificial limbs are either electronic, which are very expensive. In a country like Egypt, 8 years ago, nobody can afford it. And, or the other thing is the pirate hook. Everybody has seen the pirate with the wooden leg, or the pirate who had a wooden hook in his hand. This is reality. If he can't afford, if he wants to go back and work in a factory, if his role was to take boxes off the belt of the production line, he will attach a piece of wood to his hand, tie it to his elbow, and that piece of wood will have something like a hook so he can pull things off the line. If he is actually turning things, that piece of wood will have something like a tweezer. And those yes, Noura, تفضلي.
Yeah, I have a question. So basically, I know this is not the topic that you're talking about right now, but it's been on my mind. When we submit, is there a separate section to submit the presentation and separate area to submit the video? Or is like the presentation in the video?
I don't know. Hussein will answer that most probably.
Hussein answer.
He will answer that at the end, ya Noura. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So the problem with that wooden thing is that it's very ugly and scary. So what the worker does is that he goes to work without a limb. When he gets into the factory, he puts it on. When he finishes, he takes it off. So he's not fitting in the community. It's a very, very interesting problem. Market size. Turned out that if we generalize the percentage, it would turn out that 15% of Egyptians have a problem of a cut-off limb. That's a huge percentage. That's something like, by the time of that presentation, that's 10 million people. So the solution was, he used one of our associates, mechanical engineer. He told him the idea, and we helped him in building a mechanical hand that had 5 fingers, very much like a hand, but had a small push button hidden كده ناحية the wrist. So if you're not pushing any buttons, the hand is like that. If you push button 1, the hands turn into a hook. The fingers turns into a hook. If you push button 2, it turns into a tweezer. If you push a button 3, it turns to a puncher. So that was the most for used things. Brilliant idea, very cheap. So he solved the problem. He needs to sell it to investors. He needs money.
Please, guys, focus here.
So that's the answer for all his questions. He had the market size, the number of injured people, who are the people, the problem we're solving, the solution, the team was brilliant, everything was great. But the presentation was dull. Goes on stage in rehearsals. My name is Muhammad Al-Fulani. I am from a company called Bionic Limb. We are here to tell you how we are solving the problem of the workers who have a cut-off hand. The number of cut-off hands people in Egypt is 15% of the population. The amount of money that costs the economy is blah, 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 blah.
Like
Egypt,
already.
blah, 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 blah. A lot of data. Each time he's rehearsing, I look at him, Habib, you are a nice guy. He's a very, very nice guy. Very sharp as well. Yeah, he's not even dull. He tells you this, all these data, and he has a big smile on his face. And then it's not going to work. Why? None of the jury gives a shit. None of the people understand what you're talking about. So I told them, well, let me do the presentation. Been telling you, use an emotional hook. So here is what you're going to do. The venue, your presentation will be at 6 p.m. People will be coming directly from work. We are planning to host everybody after all the demonstrations for dinner. So people are going to be hungry. So you looked at me and said, what does this has to do with anything? So now we are going to start your presentation with one nice full screen picture of a big nice plate of falafel and fool with the smoke coming out of it and a couple of buns or عيش بلدي كده وحوح وقرن فلفل حلو كده طبق أكل beautiful.
This is then emotional hook.
Okay, and that's it. And he looked at me, told him, wait. So you will start the presentation with this slide full screen. And we wait until everybody stops talking. So the timer doesn't start counting. And when everybody is okay, you don't start with saying, my name is Muhammad. You will ask the following question. I know it's late in time. How many people would love to have a plate like this? Everybody's going to raise his hand. We were aiming for a full house, which was something like 200 people. So I told him, you will imitate that you are counting the hands and you will answer and say, wow, 100 people would love to have this plate. Guys, do you know that from every 100 people like you in Egypt, 15 of them can't raise their hand because they have a cut-off limb? And then you move to the slide. My name is Muhammad Fulani from a company called Bionic Limb, and I am here to tell you all about it. Now, what did you do with this? You threw the problem on the audience. Now, everybody who raised his hand is doing, oops. And he's listening. So you start presenting the problems. And when you say your solution, you say it in relation to that hook. Now, with our solution, no one will be afraid or ashamed to raise his hand if he wants to say, I like the falafel plate. So what did we do? We used the emotions. That's the emotive part to tie the drama of the presentation. Now, when you say your conclusion, we're going to market it like this. We're going to sell it through that. And we need your support with this amount of money that we will use for manufacturing. Everybody will be willing to help. Another example.
But Maha have a question. Maha has a question.
Please.
So will you, like, you're recording it right now, will it be sent on YouTube like the first
yes,
meeting you did?
Yes, it will be sent.
And would you please send us like the link of the video so I can like rewatch it?
حاضر.
Okay, مشكور.
The other example comes.
Taja also has a question.
Okay, please. أنا أصلي مش فاتح الشات علشان بالخدمة.
لا أنا بشوفه وأقول لك مفيش مشكلة. Taja, please. My mic doesn't work. Okay, write your question, no problem.
Write it down. Okay, I will answer it after I finish. Write it down and they will answer after I finish this. Me or Kariman. The other one, I was training researchers, not students. It was an international competition. And the Egyptian candidate, one of the Egyptian candidates that I had the honor to train and work with her on her presentation, she was a pharmacist, and the problem worth solving was that there is a new type of bacteria that is more lethal than COVID. And that bacteria attacks human beings in their limbs and in their faces, and it actually eats the flesh out, leaving the bones exposed. And the bigger problem is it's contagious and it has no cure because that type of bacteria has mutated and is not treatable by any type of antibiotic we know on earth. So Layla, as a researcher, had an idea to try to fight it with flora, other types of bacteria that she got from the deep reefs in Sharm el-Sheikh, very, very far away, very deep away from modernization, never exposed before. And she found that if she treats these flora well, these flora can eat this bacteria. She wanted a fund to continue her research, which was the price of the competition. The catch is she only had 2 slides. The competition format was only 2 slides and 2 minutes. Entire pitch in 2 slides. 2 minutes. So whenever I train anybody, if you have a pitch 3 minutes, prepare your talk to finish in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. You don't know what goes on wrong. If you finish early, way better than time comes up and you still have a point that you didn't talk about. So we worked together. I told her to prepare her speech and craft her story and come and see me next day. That was on a Sunday. She took Monday and Tuesday. I met her for an hour on Wednesday and she had the pitch on Thursday. So again, the problem was with the hook. And I told her, well, Layla, you didn't show me any pictures of those patients of yours. And she started crying and screaming in my face. No, they are not. Come on, ya mama, هتعالجيهم ازاي if you are afraid of them? I cannot show these people. مش هنشحت على يا حبيبتي بالراحة بس. وريهم لي. So she gave me a name of that disease, and I went online, found really terrifying pictures. So I told her, do you know who are the judge jury? She said, no, I forgot to ask. So I thought, okay. Picked up the phone, called the sponsorship, told them, I don't want to know names. I just want to know how big is the jury. So they told me 6 people. I told them, can I please know their genders? So they started laughing. Why? Are you planning to marry again? I told them, yes, I might. No, they are all old women. So that's what I wanted to know. So I told them, okay, so the 6 are ladies. Told me, no, 1 is a man. Thank you. Hang up the phone. I told her, now this is what we're going to do. You're going to put 5 pictures of those ugly diseases on your first slide in an animation. And you time the animation for 20 seconds. No, yes, you are going to do this. And they are going to go automatically. When the last slide stops, you're going to ask this question and don't wait for anybody to answer. You're going to ask exactly how many mothers, wives, daughters in this room can stand to see their beloved husbands, children, or fathers like this. Don't wait for any answer. Move to question 2. Move to slide 2. This disease, start stating the data, build the drama very quickly as we've rehearsed. This disease has no cure. This disease is blah, blah, blah. I am getting out positive, almost 80% curing results from flora in Sharm el-Sheikh. I need your support to make this a reality so that no mother, sister, or daughter will ever have to see her beloved person like this again. Thank you. And she got the first prize. Is it clear now?
Yes, very clear.
So that's how you build the pitch. 2, 3, and 4 are from the data. But number one comes from your empathy with the customer. You have to hook your audience with you. They have to sympathize with you. They have to sympathize with the customer. Okay? And then when you present the solution, relate it back to the hook. Make sure that they remember. We just go again. I seriously doubt if I lived inside the mosque, the volume of the adhan would be lower. Okay. So to sum up before we take the break for praying, brainstorm an emotional hook for the audience and get right into the heart of the conflict. In Act 2, share only what is critical to the problem. You only have 3 minutes. So no matter how many information you have, choose the information that will show the opportunity, that will escalate to an opportunity. Build your argument to the climax of the problem, and then when you come to the climax, the beginning of Act 3, present your solution in relation to the hook.
Relation to the emotional hook.
Okay? And then end up with a crisp and simple and clear.
So emotional hook is a very important part in your pitch. So take your time, think about it, and to write it and sketching it. And after this, you can go through it in your pitch.
That's even true in short stories, even on television. Short stories and movies always use the hook, the inciting, but they have longer time. They have an hour, so you don't feel it quickly. But usually the inciting incident, the turn from Act 1 after they've set the stage to Act 2 is actually emotional. And it's always tied up with the climax. Okay?
That makes the difference between the nice movie and the bored movie. When you go to cinema and after 10 or 15 minutes or even half an hour, you can go out of the cinema, or you are in the film take your attention. This is the difference. It's the same in the pitch. Okay.
So to sum it up, get right into the heart of the conflict. Share only what is critical to the moment. You only have 3 minutes. No matter how much information you know, you only have 3 minutes. So pick the important thing.
Yeah, focus on the important thing.
And don't get artsy. عارفين حزلقوم انت لا تجود ولا تتنيل. ما تجودش. Don't get artsy. Put an emotional hook that people can buy. Present your data properly. Escalate with the competition. Show your solution in relation to the hook. And start falling down. How are you going to market? How are you going to make sales? Who is the team? How much do you want? That's it.
Pitching هو السهل الممتنع. يعني try to be smart. When you are telling your story, try to be smart to point in the emotional part of your story, and then you can have a good start. If you have a good start in your pitching, the rest will be easy.
Easy. Exactly. If you come up with a nice hook that you can relate it well to the solution, everything after that is easy.
Yeah.
Okay? Have a clear conclusion, as we said. And like that, we have prepared our story and we crafted it. We are ready to open PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So we will go into the
This will be
details.
our after break.
After the break, we'll come back at 8 o'clock Dubai's time, which is 7 o'clock Cairo's time. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Before we go?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes, يا نورة اتفضلي.
So basically, we cannot make it like creative or artsy, but you said that we need to, like a story plot. Yeah?
Yeah. That's gonna be creative. It will be creative. You have to get creative, but don't get artsy. There is a difference between being very artistic, so you start throwing bells and whistles around, and it starts getting very, very crowded, and from being creative.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, and one more question.
Please.
Tomorrow the meeting is going to be about what?
That's going to be a technical training tomorrow in IoT and AI. As far as
okay, and then the day after
technical as well. So the
okay, so
this is the
all
end.
the other days is technical. Yeah.
All the other days are technical, so that you can grab all the data. Use these 2 days as well to brainstorm your emotions. So whenever you have all the data available, then you can start putting the story together and make your pitch and record it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, I have a question.
Dalia Fatma, please.
Yes, so I just want to make sure of an information. You said the hook of the presentation is when we involve something emotive to like stimulate the audience, right?
Yes. What is your idea about Yafat?
It's about a sustainable greenhouse. It's called Al Bayda greenhouse.
And that what problem is this greenhouse solving? Now you have with me. I will let Kariman. Yani, I cannot do this with Kariman with me because Kariman is the partner, as we call her, the sustainability advocate. She's all about sustainability.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't know why she doesn't wear green scarves. She should wear green tarha. Anyhow. Okay, Fatma. So, what is the problem your house is solving? To whom?
It's solving a lot of problems. Like our idea is making the greenhouses in the desert because we want to use the places, the big places in the desert in the UAE, because you know our local like country has a lot of deserts. So we decided to take advantage of this place, and also it solves the problem of wasted food waste. Like the food waste, we are going to solve this problem as well. And
what's the relation between the food waste and the building?
Who are the target customer? Rich people or poor people?
You mean? I have a missing part here, please, Fatma. Excuse me, I didn't understand. You use the food waste in what?
So basically, we use the food waste to make the panels to make the greenhouse. Those panels, they absorb UV light and turn it into electricity, and they are made of food waste because you know the dyed crops, like the vegetables.
Food waste. Not food waste. We call it organic waste or wet waste.
Yes, organic waste. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Organic waste. Now it makes sense. Because when we say waste, we believe it's going to be بواقي الطعمية يعني. Okay, you're talking about
no.
All organic waste. Okay.
Yes.
Generate electricity.
Yeah, she's going to use the organic parts.
The organic parts.
UV panels.
Okay.
UV panels absorb. They are to a good isolator. So they will provide good isolation from the heat outside, but most importantly, they absorb UV, and she will use that absorbed UV to produce electricity. That's the idea, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So your hook could be simply showing people this is a big national hook and everybody can relate to it. Show us high rises. There are too much in Dubai, in the whole Arab country, full of glass. Better, I tell you, a better hook. I bet you they are still doing this. Do they still stop the escalators in Dubai Metro when it's not in rush to save power? They used to do this until 2017, the last time I was there. You go into the metro and you find these big signs, escalators not working, and they tell you escalators are not working because we are preserving some electricity.
Yes.
This is something everybody can relate to. You can start with this and tell them we have to expand. Our expansion has to be in the desert. We need more electricity while we are trying to save it here.
So guys, again, it's a cycle. If you take and emphasize as a routine, daily routine, you will figure out the problem that you, the emotional hook that you will start to your pitch with when you are solving a problem. So start you with your problem and make an empathy is a daily routine.
Or another thing, another hook could be find a picture on the internet for people who are dying out of heat because there is no electricity and there is no AC. And tell them, how many times do you face this? How many have you had the unfortunate opportunity to stay without electricity in a hot day for 1 hour? I know Dubai, when I used to live in Dubai, when I travel in the summer, I had to leave my air condition on. Otherwise, I come back after the 2 months of summer and I find all my furniture مفسخ. Wallah, yes, I know that you know. Okay? So this means that you are in need. All of these can be hooks and people will relate to it. We need a continuous source of electricity. And with this conditions in the world, we cannot keep pumping gas and expand. And then you start talking about your solution. And when you finish it, you tell them, now we can build houses that are electrically sufficient without needing new infrastructure. Thank you very much. Do you get it? That's how you should be brainstorming. Yeah. Now brainstorming quickly with you, we came up with 3 ideas. Yes. Is everybody following with me now?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Yes? Okay. Any other questions?
It's not hard,
No,
guys. Just take your time and think about it.
Think about it, and we'll start with it after we come from the
idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Come back 7:05 now because you took away 5 minutes from our training break. So we'll come back at 5. Okay, guys.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Easy, Habiba, go ahead.
So I wanted to ask, هو الفيديو ايه maximum time for the video?
3 minutes.
كام يعني؟
3 minutes.
3 minutes. اوكي. طب احنا البروجكت بتاعنا app. فانتوا يعني في الفيديو would you like guys to like see the app design and how it works?
Rule of thumb يا بابا. Rule of thumb. In pitching, your product takes 1/10 of the duration only. It's not about the product. It's about the people and the market opportunity and about your capability to solve the problem. So if you have 3 minutes, you have 30 seconds to show us your product. That could be a demo, that could be a screenshot, but not more than 30 seconds. You only have 3 minutes. you have a lot of other things more important than explaining the app. Usually what I tell people who are presenting on floor, when you are older than that, and inshallah you graduate and you all become real entrepreneurs and start making a business out of that, and you go to live demos to pitch, what we usually do, if I have a demo of my app, we only show the 30 seconds and tell everybody, we have the app on store for beta, register, use this code and try the app yourself. Or if it's not on a beta on the store, we are here all day, please pass by and see our app. But the presentation is not about the app. The app will change. Eventually, the app will change. Look at Apple. Where is the iPod? It died. There is no iPod anymore. And the iPod is what made Apple in the modern days. But it got, very soon, there will be no iPhone. iPads most probably are going to replace MacBooks. Products don't live. They have a cycle. They have a life. But the solution persists, and the customers resist, and the problems change. So the important part of your pitch is around the business itself. Who's the customer? What is his problem? Why is this problem important? How are you going to solve it? What is the market size? How are you going to reach people? Who is your competition? What is your advantage? See, these are the important parts. You might need to show your app. Okay, 30 seconds, that's it. Is that clear?
Yes, so when you said something about the tell people check the app, so can I like add a link to try the app?
Yes, you can do that, of course.
We have a link that you can try the app yourself and press everything.
That would
But
be great.
yeah, as you said, it will be too long if I showed the app the whole.
Exactly, and you will use, this is not a technical demo.
Yeah.
Okay? You're presenting, you see, entrepreneurship is about, as we said yesterday, finding an opportunity and taking advantage of it. Today, you're taking advantage of it with an app. Tomorrow, maybe you change your mind. The app might persist and the app might die. Like the iPhone, like the iPad, the iPod. The iPod, nobody thought the iPod would die, but eventually the iPod died, and it's a functionality now inside the iPhone. Now, the watches are coming very quickly. Will watches and wearables replace the phones? We don't know. But the functionality doesn't go away. The problem doesn't go away. It gets more complicated. So that's why your pitch is about a problem you're trying to solve and how big the industry or the market is and how you will take advantage of it. Of course, application now is important, but not in that context. We can put a link, describe it briefly, and here is a link. Please try it and give us your feedback on this email. Great. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, no, welcome. أي أسئلة تانية يا أولاد؟
لا ما في. In regards of the homework, slide number 5, I believe, they asked about target market size. Are we talking about our customers or
yes, market size of your customers? So for instance,
okay.
If you are told, you get what I mean, okay? If you are selling scissors, there is a market size for scissors. They will tell you that, okay, the entire world purchases scissors with $5 billion annually. Those $5 billion are 20% among medical uses and 60% among households and another 20% for different uses. That's called the market size, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Mr. Can I ask you a question also about the homework?
Uli.
Okay, about the homework, is there a place we should like submit it, or we should keep it to ourselves as a brainstorm?
The hook?
Is the homework, are we supposed to like submit it to you, or
Yes,
should we keep it to ourselves?
No, you're going to submit this homework if you want to be part of the competition, maximum by the 10th of October. And when we finish today, Hussein will tell you all about it. He will send an email, but he will tell you all about it at the end of the training.
So the due date is not today. It's we have time, right?
Yes, it's not tonight today. The submission is on the 10th. The deadline is the 10th. كمان 5 أيام يعني. Okay, so now we're coming back 7:15.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have any questions, please write it. We'll answer it after we come from the break.
See you after 15 minutes. Inshallah. Hello guys again.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
جاهزين يا أولاد؟
Yes.
حد عنده أسئلة؟ ماشي.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام سيف.
في بالنسبة للأسئلة نسأل الحين ولا بعد ما تخلصوا تقريبا؟
لو عندك سؤال في اللي فات ماشي، لو عايز تستنى للآخر برضو ماشي زي ما أنت عايز.
هي له علاقة بالسبمشن.
بالسبمشن خليه في الآخر.
تمام.
أوكي.
So after we prepare our story and our pitch, we jump to produce. So this is the part that you love, guys. the production. How would you produce your pitch? We have here Guy Kawasaki. He has a principle in the pitching. It's called 10 to 20 30, and we add 50 from our side. So what is 10 20 30? 4 or what does he mean by 10 20 and 30? The better pitch have to be not more than 10 slides and take no longer than 20 minutes. And preferred font size is to be in 30. And for
minimum
each
30.
slide, minimum, yes, to be 30. And for each slide, no more than 50 words. طب ليه why? To make a slide clear, visionary يعني مريحة للعين, and not crowded. Okay.
أهم حاجة memorable. You don't put every single word you say on that slide. You only put the words you want the audience to remember. And the rest you say with your mouth. That's why we say maximum 50 words. Because the visual here, the presentation هنا عامل مساعد. It shouldn't be competing with you. Think of it, when you do a slide, when you see somebody is doing a presentation and the slide has like half a page text, the slide is competing with this with the speaker. The slide is competing with the speaker because you trying to read what is on the slide is like the chat in Zoom. When you read the chat, you lose what the speaker is talking about. You lose focus. So you're doing your slides not to compete with you, but to complement you. Okay?
To clarify what you are talking about in a vision way. So Salama wants us to repeat. Here is a principle of a man called Kawasaki. He has a principle in how to build your slides. It must be, or your pitch, it must be no more than 10 slides, 20 minutes for the time you are, actually it's not 20, okay? It's often been
maximum
from, it's often in every
time,
event.
don't talk more. Even if you have open time, talk more than 20 minutes. Nobody's going to listen for you more than 20 minutes.
Yes, this is the maximum time.
So 3 to 5 minutes is okay?
3 to 5 minutes is okay, but if the competition tells you 3, it has to be 3.
Okay, so 3
minutes. It depends on the event or the competition, yes. So You have to be accurate with the time they limited you with. Don't be long than the time they put to you. Okay, and the font must be.
What about the PowerPoint? How many slides should we have? I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. 10 slides. We are talking about 10 slides, no more than 10 slides.
Maximum 10 slides.
Try to be focused. Yeah, and try to focus on the important points. and يعني عشان ما تبقاش ممل، يعني ما تقعدش تقول كلام كتير وتكرره وتحط تفاصيل كتير ملهاش لازمه عشان ما تبقاش ممل واللي قدامك يزهق وخلاص. يعني بعد 5 دقايق هتلاقي الناس اللي في القاعه قاعدين بيتكلموا، حتى لو انت عندك وقت اكتر من 5 دقايق الناس هتقعد تتكلم مع بعض مش هتسمع انت بتقول ايه اصلا. ده من الاخر يعني. الفونت no more than what's the duration of pitching? 3 minutes. Yes. The font preferred to be minimum 30 for the size, okay? And the number of words no more than 50 words, okay?
50 words is too much. 50 words is too much. Let's count how many words do we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. This slide has 27 words and it's already crowded.
Yes, you can ask. I don't know your name because you appear to me like a dot. So if you have a question, please ask. Okay. How do you want us to present? How do you want us to present our project? Because our idea doesn't have anything that involves business. A long question. And how do you want us to present, and what information should we put in the PowerPoint? And do we need to make a logo? And is it okay to not show our faces?
All this Hussein will answer at the end of the session. Please, guys, please refrain from asking questions about the submission and the technicalities of the submission and whether your idea is workable or not. These questions will be answered by Hussein and Saif at the end of the presentation.
So now let's go to the slide. The things that we have to be care about when we are preparing our slides. First, second slide is one. What is it? So we have here principles of design. When we are designing our slide, we have to care about contrast of the colors. Try to don't choose more than 2 colors or 3 for the maximum. 2 pale colors and 1 make a contrast. And try to respect the repetition. You have to have a repetition in your slide. This will be more comfortable of the audience when they are watching your slide. Alignment is very important. If you are typing a text, please try to align it in the left side or in the right, whatever, but try to align it, okay? For the proximity, you have to, if you have a picture or image you want to show, it's preferred to fill in the slide with it. Don't put small pictures and a lot of pictures in the same slide. It will contract the audience. It will not show anything. يعني لو حطيت كذا صورة مع بعض الناس مش هتنتبه لولا واحدة فيهم، لكن لو انت في صورة معينة معبرة جدا على اللي انت بتقوله ومليت بيها السلايد هتكون اولا هتلفت الانتباه وهتعبر عن اللي انت عاوز تقوله، ومش هيكون في اي confusion للمتلقي للاودينس. Okay, is it clear? It's pretty simple, but if you have any question, please ask. Don't hesitate to open your mic and ask immediately. Next slide, please.
Excuse me, can you just talk about repetition again? Because I didn't understand it. Thank you.
Repetition? Okay. For example, if you are arranging your slides and you choose a way to arrange it, try to be like this. You see here in this picture, they respect the ratios and the alignment. Okay?
Yeah.
Try
I'll give
to
you
put like a pattern.
You see, Fatima,
like you are putting
Fatima,
pattern.
you see,
Okay?
do you see this idea of having red bar with bold letters in the middle that titles the slides? It always shows down in this presentation. This is repetition. It's not a repetition is not a template. There is no template here, but I am repeating
pattern.
I am repeating the bar, and whenever I have a title, the pattern changes. It becomes two red parts above, and this pattern is happening from the beginning here. Look, 3, and then the progress bar. 1 is 1 with a title, and then the subs are always. This is a pattern. This is repetition. Something that is well established, you keep repeating and using in the same way.
You choose it. Choose it before you start.
Okay.
You design it and choose it. And I prefer, from my side, not to choose a template.
It provides consistency.
Yes, it provides.
Yeah. Okay, I understood. Thank you.
Okay. So the second slide, the next slide, we will talk here about lines.
Elements of design.
Yes, the elements of the design you will use. Lines. Choose the lines you will use. Like here, we said here we use a red line, a red bar here under the slide here. Have a big title. We choose the colors, like we said. Shape. The shapes that we will use, if we will use rectangles. And here, please don't use a lot of shape in the same slide. It will be crowded. Okay.
Give you an example of elements of design that we used yesterday, and that Kariman used in the beginning of the day when we told you draw. There are primitives: a dot, a line, a rectangle, and a square. These are elements of design. Okay, you use predefined things to create the principles here. Use it. If you use it in repetition, then you create repetition. If you make some of them big and some of them small, then you're playing with the illusion of proximity. If you're going to use the same thing in one place, five squares, don't put the 5 squares. One is like this, one is slightly like this, one is slightly like this, one is slightly like this. Align them either to the left, to the middle.
We will give you an example now. We will give you examples now.
Okay.
Later, yeah. So here we have the rule of thirds. I think all of you know it now as well. You are using your mobile phone, taking photos daily. So there is a rule of thirds when you are putting picture or a photo or a figure, a big figure in your slide. Don't put it in the middle of the slide. Try to divide your slide into 3 rows and columns and put it in the side, not in the middle. And try to balance.
Put it around the intersection of the points. You see here,
yes.
the foots are, because they are the entire height, we put them, we start with the focal point and the intersection, and then it's all aligned here. The text is with this line. Even though this part is empty, it's balanced.
It's okay. It's okay
to
leave a space. It's okay to leave a space empty in your slide. It's not a problem at all. And try to balance your figure with text. So don't put like,
It's coming now in the examples.
Okay. Try also to be simple as much as you can. It's not a competition in how to show a lot of colors and a lot of figures. No, it's a competition in what you are saying and what you are presenting in a simple way. To be delivered to your audience with an easy way. Okay?
Here's an example of simplicity.
Yeah, here we have two figures with, yes, it's very crowded, too much colors. We cannot read it in an easy way, but you can put it in another form like this. We here eliminate the colors, eliminate the shape, so it's easy to read. We make a group of يعني اللي فاتت كان مقسم too much details. You cannot read it easily. But if you group them, it will be more easy or much easy to read with your eye.
And it has a meaning. It shows you that, yes, the biggest time is from 12 to 6 p.m. and the least time is from 12 to 6 a.m. But in the previous one, it's too much data. So one way of simplification is by reduction.
Yes, try to put them in a group. Here, if you leave a lot of space, if you want to, okay, I will ask you something. Which word of this slide that you read first? Automatically. It's sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Yes. Why? Because he wants you to focus on it.
Sacrifice.
How? Yes, how he did this? By scale the size of the word and leave a lot of space in the slide, a white space. So you will focus on the word. You can do the same if you want them to focus on something you want to show.
We have two rules playing here: the white space and what we call hierarchy. So sacrifice is bigger than reason, and both of them are bigger from the rest.
Okay.
But he wants you to remember you pay for later. Doesn't want to emphasize it, but he wants you to remember it. So he keeps it in the same font and he puts it down. So you will notice it. He uses the white space to make it show. So these are two elements in play here. Contrast, which sometimes we call it hierarchy, which is the size. You see now how now in size is in contrast with sacrifice, the biggest one. That's why you notice sacrifice. And then the white space, we call it negative space. The negative space is peaceful, very beautiful. Can anybody tell me an example of a very famous service that uses white space? And its design?
You use it daily. Every day.
Use it hourly.
Hourly, yeah.
Every hour, actually. Can anybody have a guess? No, not texting. Google.com.
Yes.
White page.
Title, a big title.
One field.
Search bar and a huge empty space. That's enough. You don't need more here.
Okay?
Okay. So here in this slide, it's an example for a visual balance by text and a picture. It's important to make this balance in your slide. Next one. And another example that, like I told you, if you have a photo you want to show, please make it fill in the slide with it to be clear.
This is called picture superiority effect. It immerses you in the picture.
It will take you all your attention rather
Exactly.
than you make it a small one in the corner of the slide and put a lot of text. If you want to show something by a picture, if you have a picture to show something with it, make it fill the slide with it. Okay, this will be better. Okay. The same here. This picture, we here write trust and put a picture that shows a trust in the other side and make a balance. See the balance here?
Yeah, this is having picture balance because we put the text in the empty part. The picture is very well composed because it has tension. Things are on the diagonal, but trust comes from where? From the vast space of sea, where those are peacefully sailing on it. So the picture fills the screen and it represents the word.
Yeah, MA is asking, can we put small video? You mean in the pitch? I think it depends on the time. Maybe you can like 10 seconds for a video for 10 seconds or what? Our long video, it's not preferred to show a long video. The same the audience will get bored. If you are limited by a time, please respect it and try to not to pass it. So here also we have the word text in front of the child because it shows that he is going upstairs. So it doesn't make any sense that if we put tips in behind him in the slide. Okay.
You can, if you want to submit a problem video, a very short video about the problem in the beginning of the pitch, that could escape, that could go. It shouldn't be more than 10 to 15 seconds. Because you only have 3 minutes.
Be very short.
Do we need to submit a video with the presentation or is it not necessary? I don't know. Thus, we will ask, Hussein will answer all of these questions at the end of this session.
It's okay to not show our faces.
Hussein is going to answer all these questions.
Okay. Okay.
So now to the final part. The final part is delivery. And this is a very famous stand-up comedian and an artist. And people who stand on stage are great storyteller deliverers. They don't even have visuals with them, but they engage you. So what is the secret of your delivery? Now, you took your time, you prepared and you crafted your story. You got everything, you got a hook, everything is fine. You spend some time, use the simple rules, and you've built every single thing you wanted on your visuals. Now it's time to deliver it. What is the secret to delivery? Rehearse.
Think about it. Yes, it's all about rehearsing. Try to rehearse, yeah, every day in front of your friends, in front of your family, in front of the mirror.
بالعربي بنقول ايه؟ شرب حتى الثمالة. Rehearse حتى الثمالة. Until you're bored from rehearsing. Rehearse until you can just act it without seeing any slides. The greatest person on earth in modern history who ever gave keynotes was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs never delivered a keynote without rehearsing it 10 days in advance daily.
And you will
One
be
or two
surprised.
times with the entire team that's going to be with him on stage.
And if you will be surprised with yourself every time you rehearse, you will develop the way you are telling your story.
No.
With,
You've rehearsed 5 times. What after that? Rehearse another 5 times. Oh, they are 10. You rehearse with yourself, rehearse 10 times in front of your family. I've done 10 times in front of my family. Great. Do another 10 times in front of your friends. Just keep rehearsing. The first 10 times, you guys are lucky. You have cameras, you can record. When I was in your age and doing entrepreneurship some 35 years ago,
in front of the mirror.
It was in front of the mirror. And I stop and I take a note that my face looked bad and I continue rehearsing. All what you have to do is to put the bloody phone in front of you or open your computer, record and rehearse, and then stop, watch it, take notes. Charisma, passion come with rehearsal. Charisma and passion and self-genuity, أريحية, all these words are rehearsed.
Yeah.
Rudolf Hitler rehearsed his speeches before he came up in front of the nation and threw his insanity on them. All great presidents, if some of you watch Netflix and you've watched The Crown, you will notice in The Crown, they show you the prime minister and the king and the queen. They rehearse their speeches. No matter who you are, you need to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. First rehearsals are with yourself and your camera. You think you nailed it. You go to people that are not entrepreneurs, your mother, your father, your sisters, your cousins, and give them the presentation. Tell them, what do you think? If they can't understand what you said, then you're too technical. And then most probably the chances that the audience in the competition aren't going to understand what you said. You think everybody who's going to judge you watching that presentation understands business and understands IoT and understands technology? No. That's the challenge. So rehearse, 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 and rehearse. One of the things you have to rehearse with, here is Steve Jobs again, to show honest passion.
And as much as you are honest,
I am here to present you with a robot.
Don't be like a robot. No.
Like a robot. And people will leave you and get out. You are there to sell them. They will buy
your idea and your problem you are solving. As much as you are believing in it, you will telling it by honesty way, and the audience will.
Sometimes honesty is acted. If you don't rehearse, your passion is going to come out as a bad act. So it's not honest. So people will distrust you. Training make things good. How many person here, girls and boys, cheers Real Madrid?
Me.
How many here knows Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo? Why is Cristiano Ronaldo
Probably all
worth
of
his?
us.
Yeah, why is he worth his weight gold? Why is he still playing and he's approaching 36? Because the guy trains even off season 6 hours daily. That's his job. That's rehearsal. Training and rehearsals make you perfect.
And make the audience believe you easy.
And part of the rehearsal is not to stand like that.
Yeah, you have to connect with their eyes. Look to them.
Look to them. Who is laughing? Who's following? Who's sleeping? And finally, you have to watch your body language. You're a kid. You can't stop putting your hands in the pocket while you're addressing elder people. If you use your hands in the rehearsals, try to watch your hands. Using your hands too much is vulgar. Standing like this means that you're closed. You're not open to criticism. Watch your body language. That will only come with rehearsals. Only will come with rehearsals.
Sleep well before the pitching and eat well, and don't drink too much coffee.
And hydrate very well, but go to the bathroom. Don't hydrate.
To be comfort when you are pitching, so it will be easy for you more than if you do العكس. يعني لو عملتوا العكس او ان انتوا متاخر او ضغطتوا نفسكم يعني. بس any question?
Hussein, can you join us for the questions of the competition?
Yes, 1 minute and Hussein will be there.
Okay.
Hussein will answer all your technical questions. If you have any questions in the session today, please ask.
I have a question.
I will answer first the question, Mr. or Mrs. Dot, okay, with the orange color.
Sorry يا باشمهندس ما سمعتش انت قلت ايه؟
I will answer some of the questions of Mr. or Mrs. Dot, because that's the name I have.
Okay.
Blue Dot. Okay. At 7:27, you asked the question, how do you want us to present our project? Because our idea doesn't have anything that involves business. And how do you want us to present, and what information should we put in the PowerPoint? And do we need to make a logo? And is it okay not to show our faces? The faces part is Hussein's part. Now, you elaborated on your question and said, our idea is something similar to a radar, but it is somehow different, but we called it smart radar. And it detects stuff that falls into the road like trees or metal stands, road signs that causes accidents. This mostly happens when there is a fog or during weather changes. And to make people drive more safely, when that happens, the smart radar notifies the police, so the police can come and clear it out that is in the road that causes accidents, and everyone will be driving safely. Okay, the fact that you put the second paragraph means you have a business. If you have a great idea, but there is no business aspect to it, welcome to the valley of death. Welcome to the cemetery of startups. That's huge, by the way. But when you explain it like this, who's going to spend money on it? Somebody has to pay money so that those radars get installed on those roads, and somebody has to pay for the communications between those radars and the police so it can notify the police so people stay safe. You tell me now, who is your customer? Who is your customer?
The community?
Not the community, the municipality. RTA, if you are in Dubai, these are your customers. These are the people that should deploy something like that. That's a business. You're selling to government or you're selling to municipalities. It's not going to go and install itself. So this means you have a business and you have a problem with solving. The problem is your customer is different than the user. Users are the citizens who get accidents. We don't live fil ghaba. We are in a developed countries. Emirates is a developed country, not even a developing. This means what developed countries means? It means that there are bodies that take care of communities and citizens. They have roles to do and they have budgets to spend. So you do have a customer. And we talked about, I don't know, I can't see your name. I don't know if you were available yesterday or not. Or did you, if you were not, watch the recording of yesterday? If you watch the recording of yesterday, you will find answers for this part.
Please then, ask your question, please.
I have a question about the video.
Yes, Yama, تفضلي.
No, I'm Hind.
Hind, تفضلي يا Hind.
Okay, is there a specific time or like 2 minutes or 3 minutes?
3 minutes, يا Hind. The entire video should not exceed 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, Maha, please.
So I have a question about the presentation because I'm doing this alone. So like I need to ask you a few questions about it.
Please.
Yes. So first of all, when is the submission date? I heard it's on the 9th, but I'm not sure.
10th. It's on the 10th. We said yesterday, Hussein said yesterday that it's on the 10th. The deadline is the 10th of October.
Okay. So the template you sent on email, will I find, like you said that I'm going to find like the answers and ideas for the presentation because like you told us what to like talk about and how you want it to be and how many minutes it's supposed to be. But like what I mean is that mainly we're going to talk about our idea, okay? But you're saying business and stuff, but yani, we're confused from that part.
Idea, yes, your idea is a business. You make an idea. If the idea doesn't turn into a business, Yamaha, it will not survive. You get what I mean? So to ensure that, we didn't ask you to do projections. We didn't ask you, we know that. So what we asked you to do is to present your idea in a specific format. The idea must be a problem solution for a known customer. And that customer must have a market size. And you must tell us this great idea. How are you going to market it? How are you going to sell it? And who's competing with you? This makes the idea a business.
It's like it's like some sets of questions. If you answer them, it will make your pitch easy for you.
But again, this is left up to Hussein. If the competition decides that it's a technical idea, then it's a technical idea. What was communicated with us before this training is that they want everybody to present the ideas as ideas for a startup. We call this in business idea stage.
Okay, and
Asabi, one moment. Asabi, do we need to submit a video with the presentation or it's not necessary? I don't understand the question.
You need to submit both presentation and the video.
you need to support,
فين اللي هيقول؟
you need to submit a PowerPoint or Google Slides document, and you need to submit a video where you are saying that presentation in 3 minutes. Right? Is that clear? Okay.
So the presentation video should be 3 minutes maximum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you will submit the Google Slides or the PowerPoint. Now you want to show me a video that you can do the slide presentation in 3 minutes.
About the presentation, يعني, do you want us to have the PowerPoint on like a board or something or a device, and then you want us to like explain it, like someone like takes the video, or can it just be like we do the PowerPoint and just send it, or do we have to like explain?
In the video, you have to explain it. You are going to explain. The presentation is a presentation. You see, like the presentation that we've been doing today for 3 hours. I can send you the presentation. You see the presentation, you can read it in 15 minutes, and you can read it in 6 hours. I can do it in 10 minutes, and I can do it in 2 hours, and I can do it in 3 hours. So depending on the time you have, you're going to put more information or less information that is present on the slides. So the whole idea is you only have a slot of 3 minutes. So knowing that, you shouldn't send me a slide deck that takes 15 minutes to read, because this means that you will never do it in 3 minutes. So they are double checking on each other. Did I make it clear كده ولا أنا عكيت الدنيا يا حسين؟
لا
لا تمام. It's very clear again. يعني as you said يا باشمهندس, we will have like a video, and the submission and the presentation time is 3 minutes. So you will have to put the information with the template engineer Ashraf sent you, and we will send it again to you also. And to have the presentation to be doable in 3 minutes inshallah. عشان ده already the judging for the UAE finals and judging if you are qualified for the Arab finals will be only 3 minutes for each team.
And that will be live, I think. That will not be video, right?
Yes,
the
finalists
will pitch on floor.
Yes, the pitch is on floor for the UAE finals and for the Arab finals.
Okay, did you get it يا شباب? Now you understand. This is like تصفيات مبدئية. So that's why we need to make sure that you can deliver your presentation that you're sending. We want you to say it in 3 minutes, because that's the slot you have. Because after judging and choosing the finalists in the Arab Challenge and the Emirates Challenge will have to pitch on floor and will only have 3 minutes.
Okay.
And can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think yes, we can have questions. لو حضرتك يا باشمهندس
خلصت.
لا لو وراك حاجه خلاص يعني انا already I will take the
لا احنا قاعدين معاك، وانا قاعد معاكم شويه، مفيش مشكله. لو كريمان عايزه تقوم
ماشي. Yes, what's your name first? SA.
Sarah. I was gonna ask the presentation and الفيديو اللي نحن بنسويه we're supposed to send us على الإيميل اللي انتوا already تكلمونا منه، صح؟
You will send you a Google form and you will upload the video on a drive or on a YouTube link. بصي كل الانفو you will see، ما تقلقيش، تمام؟ you will put the link of the video إن شاء الله. وكل شروط الفيديو مدته قد ايه، يتصور ازاي، المايك يكون عامل ازاي، لازم تفتحه، كل الاسئله اللي حوالين الفيديو هتلاقوهم اتجاوب. اوريدي لو في questions تانية برضو تسهيلا عليكم يعني I will put كده على الايميل، وممكن نعمل كده ايه تليجرام تشانل هشارك معاكم عشان لو في اسئله عندكم، بس ده for you بس يعني for the school students only يعني. تمام؟
اوكي شكرا.
عفوا. أسئلة مريم
شباب go to catch عشاء. Does anybody have any questions for me before I leave?
No, thank you. Please don't forget to send this PowerPoint so I can get like more ideas, please.
We will send you the recording, inshallah. It's a pleasure as usual, and I'm really, really thrilled and impressed with the level of questions and the level of attainment in this session. والله عاش يا شباب. I can't wait until I see some of you on the finals during GITEX, inshallah. Well, you have a great weekend and all the luck for all of you in your submissions. يلا السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام يا باشمهندس. عليكم السلام. ها يا شباب قولوا لي لو عندكم أسئلة أنا معاكم بس بنظام.
عندي
عزة
سؤال.
مها اتفضلي يا مها. وبعدين
أحينا
يس.
أحينا الإيميل اللي كان حاطة الإيميل like the contacts if I have any questions أرسل للإيميل اللي أنتم طرشيني إياه ولا to the email he put on the PowerPoint?
Questions regarding the challenge.
Like if I have any like questions when I'm making the PowerPoint, who should I contact? The person who sent me the link and stuff, or?
Yeah. In this case will be engineer Ashraf. Okay, you can contact him. تمام. But لو أي questions regarding the challenge, the submission, the deadline, everything is not clear about it, you can send us. But for the presentation itself, you want to make this is an extra mile from you to ask the trainer, the instructor. He shall answer you, inshallah. But you have to send to him in this case. Is it clear?
سوري بس بغيت أسأل هي شو كان سؤالها يعني من أي ناحية إن نكلم الأستاذ أشرف يعني من متى نكلمه عن شو؟
هو مستر أشرف shared his email فأنتوا ممكن هتعملوا presentation template تمام وممكن تبعت اللي عايز يبعتها له it's not part of the chat يعني أنتوا you will send him وهو يعني in a decent way he will answer to you through the email that it's good it's كذا اشتغلوا على كذا اعملوا كذا تمام
يعني to get from his experience وشي يعني
yeah but it's not a part of the challenge يعني انتوا لو بعتوا لنا البرزنتيشن اقول لكم رايي فيها هي حلوه ولا لا as a challenge انا مش هقدر اجاوب ده فاهمه قصدي انا هجاوبكم في اي اسئله regarding the challenge itself تمام
Okay I get it thank you
okay thank you فاطمه
السلام عليكم مستر مصطفى
اهلا سيف باشا
اهلا
عامل ايه
الحمد لله بخير I had a question which
yes,
is regarding technical details.
Yes.
So now, is there any need to mention technical details in the slides, or this keep it for questions and answers?
No. بص بكره لسه you will have we will send you and the technical part of the training of the IoT Internet of Things as we told you. We will send it tomorrow. It will not be a live video. It will be like a recorded videos, and it's like around a 1.5 hours video, and you shall attend it and get it very well. Okay. At the presentation, you will have to show your idea because we have most of the participants at the idea stage. Okay. So it's very, very, very important to stick to the presentation template. We sent it yesterday, I think, and we will send it again today, okay, to use at your final presentation.
So the template, you mean the design or just the content of the template?
لا أنا template, it means that, yeah, the structure.
The structure.
The structure, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the main concern is that we have only 3 minutes. This is the main concern, let's say. So we have to finish everything within the 3 minutes. That's it.
Yes. And I think this is like every year. Yani we have this rule for each year. Yes.
Yeah, because actually before like was questions and answers about technical details. So we have solid technical details. It's fine. So, but just keep it for questions and answers. That's it. To be ready for the questions and answers.
Yes. The teams will be judging for their idea from the business side, and of course, if you have a technical side, and it's important to have it. Yeah, I'm not saying
deep detail. Just briefly, briefly.
Yes, just like, briefly, but yes. Concerning the
what
idea.
What tools used, like that? Tools, technologies, just that. tools and technology,
Yes.
let's say, but
Yes,
not
yes.
the code and these things.
No,
Just,
no. You
yeah.
have to stick to present it and to make it very clear for the judges. Yeah.
Okay, let's say tools and technologies. That's it. And later that can be answered in the question and answer. Now, the video submission will be just the presentation, the normal presentation in 3 minutes. This is the video submission.
Let me clarify this again. We have,
Yes, for
Yasin,
everyone.
2 things to submit. Presentation, it's a PPT. You send the presentation. Okay. And the second thing, a video. The video is a one like me, open the camera and talk about the idea, and without any presentation. He talk about Kaza and we are working on Kaza. Maybe the video is a group or one individual of the team or a group of the team. No problem in this. Okay. We will send all the options of the video in the mail. Don't worry. Yani the form will illustrate all your kind of questions. But briefly again, the video
Okay,
is
just
like
one question.
open the camera.
No. Is there a limit time? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Is there a certain time for the video? Yeah,
yes,
maximum?
it's the 3 minutes.
Also
yes,
3 minutes.
Yeah.
But not related to the slides, just general video.
No problem. By the way, you can tell me that I will have the slides in the background, but I will not show it to the video. It's good, no problem. No one see the presentation.
So it's up to us. It's up to us. We can show you the video and explain.
Yes. It's only the video. You will record it. Our idea is like kaza, and we are working on kaza. This is our business model. We are making this, and we are targeting this, and yeah.
It's clear. It's clear.
It's clear. Okay. اتفضل يا حسبي المنصوري.
Do we have to open our camera on the video or no?
Yes, no. It's must to open the camera at the video.
Is it necessary? Because some of us doesn't want to.
It's a must because we have to it's one of the points you get that we see how you are interacting, how you are talking. That's very important. So it's a must. It's not an option.
Can we at least wear a mask or something? We need to show our face.
In the normal case, we don't accept this, but please, if you have a certain reason, you can send us Hasabi, no problem, on the email and we will see. But in the normal case, it must be your face and you appear like me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. ريناد اتفضلي.
Yes, so regarding the thing that you were talking about, how like different challenges like in UAE and Arab and like in the Arab challenge, do they have to like have different ideas from each other? يعني كل واحدة لها موضوع?
No. You will, if you got winning the UAE challenge, you will go to the Arab challenge and present the same idea, not a new idea. Okay? Okay. ماشي فاطمة إسماعيل.
يس بس بغيت أسأل هو نحن الحين مثلا لما نتكلم عن موضوعنا ومشروعنا وشي يعني يحتاج نتكلم عن الباك جراوند يعني مثلا يحتاج نتكلم لو مثلا مشروعنا عن التغير في المناخ أو مثلا عن الويست يعني نحتاج do we need to define those issues or do we just get straight into the idea straightforward?
No. You can, يعني, as Mr. Ashraf said, يعني, we will send you again, ya shabab, the template. But I think you will have to mention the problem at first. But you have a very little time. So you see, I have to talk about the problem in only 20 seconds, and then the solution in another 20 seconds, and then I go to the business model, and then I showcase, and then I said, and خلاص يعني انتوا بتبداوا طبعا لازم بالبروبلم بعدين هتكملوا بالسولوشن وهتتبعوا الجايد لاينز اللي هتتبعت لكم في البرزنتيشن.
يعني it's okay if we mention the issues but like in a brief way.
Yes. يعني don't worry احنا الحاجه اللي بنقولها مش لازم تحصل تعملوها بالظبط زي ما احنا بنقول عادي ان انتوا تحكوا برضو حاجه البروبلم it's a must to be said وهكذا يعني. تمام؟ طيب مها العمري اتفضلي.
Okay, so Ahina, when I'm presenting the presentation in the video, first I will mention the problem, like the problem that my idea يعني will help and the problems.
Yes.
And by the solution,
أنا أخبرهم يعني my idea on how it's gonna help the يعني community, how it's gonna help. But what if my idea is going to help particular people, يعني not everyone, just some
No
people.
problem, no problem. خلي بالك particular people, it means it's يعني it serves the community أو part of the community. مش الكوميونتي ده فيه ناس كتير موجودة. So يعني كل حد لو أنت بتحلي مشكلة جزء فئة صغيرة من الكوميونتي ده it's a good thing and of course it's يعني ده ممكن يديكي privilege ما ان انت اوريدي متخصصه في بارت معين وبتحلي مشكله معينه. ما اعرفش ايه فكرتك، بس دايما الفوكس على الجروبس الصغيره عامه ده بيبقى حاجه يعني كويسه جدا يعني. فدونت وري يعني ده ما فيهوش اي مشكله بالعكس. تمام اوكي. طيب ممكن فاطمه اونلي، فاطمه بس ممكن تسالي.
Okay, so I would like to ask, do we need a prototype أو إن تكون ويانا simplified?
Yes, yes, I got your question. In the high school track, we don't require a prototype. But if you have a prototype, okay, and it's a better thing, it will give you an extra opportunity that you have a prototype and that you have good steps with your project. But it's not mandatory, but it's a good thing to have. Okay. طيب.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. عفوا عزة شميلي، اتفضلي يا عزة.
So we are supposed to submit a presentation with our faces on the link that will be sent on the 7th, right?
Presentation, it's a presentation, but a video, yes, the video will be like a recorded video, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, تمام عزة, it's done.
Yes. Thanks.
أنا مش سامعك، لو أنت سامعاني قولي لي.
Yes, yes, thank
I'm
you.
not getting يعني you in a good way. بس تمام. طيب حسبي المنصوري اتفضل.
Is it necessary to like give out our like informations about our team members, like our background, or no?
In the video يعني in the video if you have time in the video you can say it in 10 seconds only, but most probably it's not very important يعني. Okay.
How about the presentation? Can we put on our backgrounds, like each member?
Yeah, in the presentation, in the PPT itself, yes, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. فاطمة اسماعيل اتفضلي. حاسس ان احنا بنرجع تاني الناس ترفع ايديها يعني حاولوا تخلي اسئلتكم كلها one time.
سوري.
لا مفيش مشكلة يا فاطمة، اتفضلي.
كنت بتأكد أن فاطمة الثانية هي سألت عن البروتوتايب، هي كان قصدها بروتوتايب يعني فيزيكال، يعني الموديل المجسم.
بص عشان برضو نكون عارفين البروتوتايب it means ممكن لو انا اوريدي بقدم سوفت وير سولوشن ممكن يكون ويب سايت، اتس بروتوتايب. هو الويب سايت ده بالنسبه للبروجكت بتاعي هو البروتوتايب. ممكن يكون بالنسبه لك هو الحاجه اللي انت عملتيها او صنعتيها a robot and something like this. Okay, so in this case both of them are prototype. فاهمه؟ ايا كان قصدها ايه، لو اوريدي حد تيم معاه بروتوتايب it's a good thing to show in the video by the way يعني، وده هتلاقوه مكتوب يحطوا جنبه، مش لازم اشوف ان هو شغال، بس بيقول ان انا والله I made the prototype ووصلنا لكذا في الستيج كذا، يمنشن ات اونلي. تمام؟ ده اكيد حاجه يعني افضل من ان انت بتعمل بروتوتايب. سو شو ات. فاهمه؟ مع الفيديو بتاعك. Okay. Yes,
thank you. I wanted to make
thank you.
sure.
I think Mariam in the chat please send all the details and templates to teachers email. كده احنا بنبعت الميلز لكل التيتشرز ولكل الستودنتس. دونت وري. طيب فاطمه قبل مها عشان هي رفعت بايديها الاول.
تمام. فالحين لما سوري يعني بس لما بنيجي نسلم لازم نتكلم عن الريزن ليش سوينا نحن هالبروجكت ولا لا مو بلازم؟
Yes, again I will try as much as I can يعني safe if you I don't know if we shared before the presentation template with them or not, but we will share it again. Yes, it have a structure. Part of the structure is very important that we talk about it يعني. We have to do this. تمام. Okay, thank you so much. I will leave now. Good night فاطمة. طيب مها وحسبي اتفضلي يا مها.
So أحينا thank you for everything يعني I understood بس
Yes.
إن أحينا when we present أنا بتكلم عن who are my customers the targeting بس what do we mainly focus about the problem and the solution لأن أنا سمعت the other guy say إنه يعني لازم we add more ideas which ما فهمت كيف يعني we
طيب
talk about the
هو
solution and problem mostly ولا لا
بصي هو اوريدي يعني تاني هو ما فيش صح وغلط. البرزنتيشن احنا هنسند تاني الاستراكشر بتاعها، مالكيش دعوه بالناس بتقول ايه، هو في ستراكشر، ما فيش حاجه اهم من حاجه. You have to say the problem and the how to solve it and your actual product, what is it and what's your target segment and tech for the rest of the details. فاوريدي كل اللي هيعمل برزنتيشن they have to stick to this structure. مفيش حاجه اهم من حاجه، مفيش حاجه نفوتها اكتر من حاجه. في الاخر you will have a 3 minutes and you will have to make your video like a good thing in this 3 minutes يعني. تمام
thank you.
Thank you. ماشي. حسبي المنصوري وبعديها فاطمه خليفه. ماشي.
So about the prototype أنا already عندي prototype يعني مسويت لنا في اللابتوب شيء. Do I have to put it in the video or the presentation?
Yes.
Which
Please
one
show
is
it in the video, no problem, but we will not talk about it too much, you know. يعني احنا we will have also the structure, but when we get to the solution, we will say this is the prototype. We have designed something that make a human is more happy than now مثلا يعني. أنا بقول أي حاجة. that's it. مش هتقولي والله we used Arduino and we used كذا and we used كذا. It's the video is not about the structure of the prototype. وصلتك؟
Yeah, thank you.
اوكي فاطمة خليفة اتفضلي.
How specific and detailed should we be? Like, should we talk about I don't want to tell what's ours about. However, should we talk about the industry now and the percentage? Do we bring up numbers? Should we talk about competitors and
والله ده هيكون في البرزنتيشن ستراكشر. بصي البرزنتيشن ستراكشر هو ده اللي انت هتقوليه في الفيديو، بس مش هيظهر كبرزنتيشن. يعني انت you will attach the presentation. تمام؟ يعني خليكي معايا. yes let you open the mic. yes and you will make the video زي ما انا كنت بشرح لسيف من شويه. you will record the video. طيب انت في الفيديو جنبك البرزنتيشن مفتوحه، مش ظاهره لي، هي ظاهره لك انت وبتتكلمي بنفس السيكونس، فاهمه؟ فاللي هيكون موجود في البرزنتيشن انت هتقدري ايه خلاص تقوليه in the video يعني no problem. طبعا كل الفيديو it will be in English يعني it's for sure this. تمام؟
Okay, yes, thank you. So it doesn't have it's good to have it detailed, but not in the
طبعا you will have the details. لو انتوا عندكم اي حاجه انا هتراي ان انا اعمل channel تليجرام عشان برضو البرايفسي بتاعتكم. فاوريدي على الشانل تليجرام لو you have questions we may answer you until the deadline of the video submission. تمام؟ اوكي تمام. even nothing received my even the links of the meeting I take from my students. maybe your mail يا مريم كان مكتوب غلط وقت الريجستريشن. so please can you يعني can one of your students or your team send an email to reply with your new email. يعني they can say their team name and after then they tell that our instructor or our teacher is called Iman and here is her email and you can send it يعني. okay. لا ما فيش اي حاجه يعني everything is good. فاطمه لو حد عنده اسئله تانية ونفسه فيها لا يتردد يعني I'm with you عشان كل حاجه تكون واضحه ان شاء الله. thank you for answering. no nothing. thank you. okay I think everything is good now. okay شكرا مع السلامه. اقفل يا عم.